Welcome in, everybody. I'm Noah Castor. To my right, we have Brandon Hudson, and across the table, we have Darrin Kinslow, and we are the BenchWarmers. We are going to get into our recap of the championship weekend. First, we're going to start off with the matchup in the AFC. We got the Chiefs and the Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and slide it over to Brandon. Brandon, what did you think about the matchup? Do a little bit of a recap here.
I think the main thing about this matchup was the fact of the penalties. I think they had a big factor in it. I think some of the calls I don't think they were very good. I think the refs did play a big part in this. Honestly, I think it goes both ways. Both teams came out and performed pretty well, but I don't know. I just don't really have much to say on this one, honestly.
Just too depressed.
Too sad.
All right. I'm going to give my completely objective overview of things. I thought that the penalties did play a big part in it. I don't think we're ever really going to know, without the penalties, without the missed calls, what would have happened. I'm not going to say without the missed calls the Chiefs win this game because you just don't know. You can't tell. I'm going to go ahead and say that the offense early for the Chiefs was horrible. They didn't get anything going in the first half. And the second half, offense got a little bit better. Honestly, I think the defense didn't play horribly for the Chiefs. I don't think they played horribly. I know that Bob Sutton did get fired. I know that, but I think they played about as well as you could have expected the Chiefs defense to play. I knew against the Colts that wasn't going to happen. You weren't going to get that kind of pressure on Tom Brady. The Patriots never allow that. They're the best offensive line left in the playoffs. In the championship round out of those four teams, I'd say they have the best offensive line. I will say that I don't think Tom Brady played that well. I think he played well late fourth quarter and in overtime. I think he was normal Tom Brady late fourth quarter overtime. We've seen him do it, coming down and taking the lead, winning in overtime. But throughout the first three quarters and early fourth quarter, I didn't think he played that well. I mean, 30 completions, 46 attempts, that's pretty good. 348 yards, that's decent for an overtime game. For a regular time, yeah, that would have been really good, but overtime, 348 yards, that's decent. 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, that's not great. Really 3 interceptions if D4 doesn't line up, but I'm not going to hold that to Tom Brady because one of those interceptions was on either Edelman or Gronk. I can't remember which one. It just basically, Edelman, it hit him in the hand, so I'm not going to put that one on Tom Brady. So
the ball doesn't lie.
Ball don't lie. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He had a passer rating of 77 against possibly the worst defense in the NFL. I'm not going to say worst defense in the NFL because they do have a pretty good pass rush, but definitely lower half defense in the NFL. And it came out that Bob Sutton had only ran 2 coverages the whole entire game. So, of course, I expect Tom Brady to pick that apart. What I expected from Tom Brady, I did not get. I did not get through into the entire game. I think if Tom Brady plays the way Tom Brady plays in the regular time, I can't figure out the word. They win that game without having to go to overtime.
Regulation,
yeah.
There you go.
They win that game without having to go to overtime if Tom Brady is normal Tom Brady. The running game was insane. Sony Michel, 29 attempts, 113 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. I think this game was more about Bill Belichick stopping Patrick Mahomes in the first half. Tom Brady, 4th in overtime. You know what Tom Brady does, and the running game was insanely good. That's all I really have to say on this matchup. I think the Chiefs had an opportunity to win this, but the Patriots took advantage.
I think definitely the Chiefs, as soon as they figured out that the Patriots won the coin toss in overtime, we knew it was over.
Yeah, definitely.
Same would have been said for the Chiefs.
Same would have been said for the Chiefs. I think overtime needs to be changed, but we're not going to get into that. That's too big of a topic to get into. Patriots going to the Super Bowl. It is what it is. Questionable calls. It happens. So, Darrin, what do you got?
First, I was going to wait until the Rams and Saints penalty that game. I was going to wait to say this, but I think those penalties, they've happened the entire NFL season, especially this season.
It's honestly been a horrible season.
Yeah, the officiating has been horrible. And the only reason why it seems like a huge deal in these postseason games because it's the postseason.
It's a huge game, yeah.
All these teams are so close in talent and skill. Mm-hmm. The games are going to be so close, and just 1 or 2 missed calls can really swing a game. But yeah, that's the penalties and the overtime. That's a whole nother topic. But I think overall, I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, so I mean, a lot of my stuff is going to be biased. I'm just going to admit it now. I thought Tom Brady played well. And the reason why they went into overtime is because that defense gave up 24 points in the fourth quarter. Now, the defense in the first half was lights out. I mean, just unbelievable. Tyreek Hill, the entire game, had one single catch. Travis Kelce didn't have, let me see. I don't think he did.
Man, he played horribly. He had probably, I think, 3 drop balls. It was
he had 3 receptions and 23 yards. So, yeah, not a good game. And they did what they do best, and that's shut down your top guys, and you're going to have to find someone else. Also, Travis Kelce too. It was one of the drives in the fourth quarter. I can't remember if it's the drive after they scored with 30 seconds left, and they went to go kick the field goal. One of the drives, Kelce ends up fumbling it, and that would have lost them the game, but the penalty on J.C. Jackson, that's what brought that back. But overall, I thought it was a good game by Brady, and then, of course, Belichick's defense completely stopped Kansas City in the first half, gave up those 24 points, and I think it was 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. But I think if they play like this against the Rams, I think they can beat the Rams, especially if the defense plays like that, because that's going to be the biggest thing against the Todd Gurley and
Jared Goff.
And then C.J. Anderson. Yeah, C.J. Anderson. So if they play against the run game like that and they run the ball well like they did against the Chiefs, I see them winning. Tom Brady, 65% and 348. I thought he had a good game. He had one interception that was 100% on him. They pulled that back to play action and threw it over the middle, and just a bad ball.
I didn't know what they were doing. You have one of the most dominant run games. Run the ball in.
Yeah,
don't get fancy with it.
He sold it. He sold the play action and everything. And if he lofts it up over to Gronk, he might have a chance with the ball. But then the second interception was kind of Edelman's fault. Hit him right in the hands, and then the third interception the
one that gets called back.
That didn't happen. But I thought it was a good game. I think they've got a good shot, and this season has just been crazy as a Patriots fan. I mean, just terrible start as usual, and then losing Gordon, and I mean, there's no elite wideout. I mean, we've got Edelman, but he's kind of a slot guy, and of course he steps up in these big games, and then Gronk too. I mean, it's just crazy how all season they've played mediocre, and then it's just like old times with Gronk throwing it up against Barry, and then Edelman making some great catches, and even Hogan with that one-handed grab too, which was pretty sweet. So I was satisfied with the game, and I thought they played well.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, in the Super Bowl, if Tom Brady plays the way he does and the defense shuts them down first half, I do think the Patriots have a really good chance to win that game. But if Tom Brady plays like he does and the Rams are scoring early, it's going to be tough. But I don't really like to bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I mean, I barely picked the Chiefs in this last game, so I think that wraps up that matchup. You guys want to go into the Saints and Rams matchup? The controversy. The Chiefs and Patriots was pretty controversial too, but
I wouldn't say that would have. I don't think the officiating in that game swing the game for the Patriots.
No, not as much as
this was a done deal.
Blatant, this was bad. Like with the Chiefs and Patriots game, you could say either way it got swung, but this is just bad. It was bad. If you guys don't know what play we're referring to,
I'll play it.
You'll play it up there? All right. Yeah, so that should have been pass interference by a mile. I was sitting there with my family like, are they not going to call that? He just decked him, and the ball's not even there yet.
Doesn't even look back or anything.
No, doesn't look back at all. He's literally, the defender's looking for the flag. Like, he's after plays looking for the flag.
And he even said in a post-game interview that he was like, I got there early. I'm not going to give up the touchdown. So
I mean, it sucks for the Saints. That does, really swing the game. But Drew Brees overtime, he throws that pick. I mean, I understand they probably shouldn't be in that position in overtime, but I mean, it happens. Bad reffing happens. I know we all hate it, and it sucks when it decides games, but you just got to step up. And Drew Brees throws that pick. He had Fowler in his face, throws it up, and it gets picked off. So,
yeah, because if a rule of thumb for the NFL is like don't let officiating decide the game.
yeah. They had so many opportunities
In the
before
red
that.
zone, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like they had chances to win the whole entire game did not come down just that one call. I think it definitely looks that way now as we look back at it, just because of the timing of the call or the no call, I guess. But overall, they didn't play well. I mean, they got shut down in the red zone.
Really, props to the Rams' defense.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Forcing 2 field goals in the red zone. The Saints, a deadly red zone team. Really just shout out to the Rams for that one. People saying the Rams didn't really, I guess, deserve the win. I mean, yeah, with that call, it's hard. But, I mean, the Rams played well enough. They played well enough to be in a position to win that game. And the Saints had an opportunity overtime to go down there and score, and they didn't. So, I mean...
Yeah, and that was the kind of like proof of the overtime game or overtime coin toss deciding the game. It's if your defense steps up, then you're good to go. You just got to get the field goal or touchdown. But yeah, that was
Gotta get your run game going too. Alvin Kamara had 8 carries for 15 yards, no touchdowns, but he had 11 receptions for 96 yards. You got to get him running more. You got to get him touchdowns. You got to get him in the end zone.
I think the Rams do a really good job at stopping the run.
They
I think
do a very good job at stopping.
Rank, but
Alvin Kamara definitely played a big role in this one, though.
I can remember what they did to Zeke in the playoff game.
They just shut him down. Yeah,
and they made the quarterback. And here's the problem that I always have with the Saints. They don't have the weapons. Like, they got Michael Thomas. He's huge. They got Alvin Kamara. But if they shut both those guys down,
there.
who do they got?
Just like you said, I mean, they don't get the ball. They don't have the receivers. They don't have anyone but Michael Thomas. Yep. Alvin Kamara actually had the most yards out of all the receivers. He had 96 yards passing.
Yep.
And all the other ones had 58, 36, 24. So Alvin Kamara being a running back, he ended up with the most yards or receptions for yards. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty crazy. You got to get other people involved in this.
I was very impressed with how Jared Goff played. I think he did really well in the Superdome. You can see him covering his ears because it's so loud trying to hear Jean McVay. And I think he played really well. There was one play where he rolled out to the right, threw it to Everett. That was a really nice play. I think he played really well. He was actually going down the line, telling each of his receivers what the play is because it's so loud in there. So I think he played really well in a really big game.
Yeah, props to Greg Zuerlein, 57 yards.
Goodness!
And that place too, it was loud. I mean,
that's nerve-wracking. Shout out Cody Parkey. That's how you win games right there. But
now in the playoffs, these kickers don't miss.
No,
like Butker and
it's not happening. Yeah. But, no, I think the Rams played just well enough to win. I think the Saints had a chance. That's what I don't agree with, like, the Saints getting real angry. Like, you had a chance. I think the Chiefs have more right to be angry because they didn't even get a chance in overtime.
Yeah,
you had a chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, go down and score. Stop complaining. Go down and score. Like, it's just the players tweeting out, hey, Roger Goodell changed the call of the game. Like, come on. Like, it's just...
The petition to replay.
It's just so frustrating. Yeah, bad calls happen. That's part of the game. And I know we all hate it, but...
Are you talking about the petition to have the Chiefs and Saints play?
Yeah. Just go score. Like, it's...
I was reading it had more... it had more views than the Super Bowl did. If they actually played the Saints versus Saints versus Chiefs.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm not saying the NFL's rigged. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think probably the worst matchup for views would have been Chiefs and Saints. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Because with the Patriots in it, Tom Brady possibly getting his 6th ring, that's huge for
If it was rigged, they would have had the Chiefs and the Rams, which they got the Rams part, I guess, if it was rigged. I don't like it.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
$7 billion industry. How often are you going to leave it up to chance? No, I think it came down to the Saints had a chance and they didn't score. just the way it is. Stop crying about the penalty. Sorry. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our recap of the championship round. We are going to have our Super Bowl picks next week, and then after that, we're going to move into the off-season, going to do some season awards and some other videos. So that wraps it up, guys. We'll see you later.
Deuces.